Welcome, everybody.
Hey, Scott.
Oh, hey, Scott. How you doing? I think if you sent that today, that we received it, but the internet's bad here, and I can call, but I can't get on the internet, and well, we have to put Gmail on hers, but we'll get we'll get to that quickly. Um, we got a nice guest tonight. Give us a quick second. Let it blow. We'll talk to you in 1 second, Joe. We're glad you're here. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we'll find us some moderators. So welcome everybody, and Joe Blow, we are so glad to hear from you. Scott, I don't know if you heard me a while ago, but and I hope you can hear us pretty good. We're about the same distance, except it's raining. We got in right before the rain. We were running errands and things like that. But today we're going to start with the prayers, your announcements, and have a quick discussion before we have our guest on. And after we do our quick list here, then we also like to introduce our friend, a warrior friend that we'd like for you to listen to. He has some very important information that he's going to share freely. So it behooves people to pay attention and listen. But Joe Blow, we'll do that in just a minute.
We'll start with a prayer. Thank you, Father, for allowing us to be here and to have this platform. We thank you for the proper words and for the proper people that you wish to hear the knowledge that we have. Let us always be mindful of what we're here for and to stay focused on that. We ask that you bind the eyes, the ears, and the mouths of the enemy, that you take care of any electronic problems, and that you keep this broadcast clear so that everyone can hear and learn what they need to. We thank you for this opportunity, and we ask your hand of protection over all those who listen and over all those who will listen in later. And these things we pray in Jesus' name.
I forgot to. Okay. Oh,
We have welcome everybody. We have 3 Facebook pages. We'll talk to you in just a second. They're Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, and Son Center and Database. We have the Choctaw Missing and Murdered. I just said that.
Oh.
Didn't I? Is that the one I just said? I'm sorry, I didn't have the notes. I thought he was going to do the announcements. I'm sorry. The Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch Facebook page and the Lead Tracker E Facebook page. You're welcome to come on any of those pages. And that's it for me.
Also, the Bigfoot documentary, the Bigfoot DVD. I have my Cashapp up there right now. Let's see. And Joe Blow. Scott. I don't know if you heard me a while ago, but if you did send that today, we did receive. I seen it, but we were on the road, and the Wi-Fi is not too good here, so we have to try to use this phone, and then if we can get that arranged, we'll have that out to you by tomorrow. Joe Blow, you have a friend who has purchased a DVD for you, and we just need to get your email address. And Scott, also send us your email address. I meant your information, unless it's with what you sent today, if that was you who sent it. But Joe Blow, we need your information to mail you a DVD. One of the supporters that we have has purchased one for you, but this supporter has purchased quite a few for other people too. But we want to thank that supporter also for helping and getting the people that we know need to see it. Well, everybody needs to see it, but there's certain people that are in certain situations right now, including Mary Stoughton. We really want to talk to you and have you come on and share your information, things that are going on with you right now. And also that I'll throw so. And we'll get to the comments in just a minute. I'll do that before we have a guest on. But that this is a training tracking channel. We just want to illustrate that again today. It's not an open forum. Our trackers are here and they're watching. They're learning everything that we're sharing. There's new things we don't have the opportunity to be with them 24/7, so we use this channel to share the information with them. All these stories, all the information that we gather, the video, the DVD, all of them have it. But we just don't need any disruptions, especially when our guests are on. It's very disrespectful, not just to us and not just to the people who's been here for a long time as like a classroom. But everybody's here to learn. We're sharing this information, and people are allowed to listen in. And if you've got comments or questions about the topic or about the guest, you can put those into the comments, but we'll answer them at the end. But lately, we've been seeing conversations going on. The last stream that we had, our chat stopped here, our live chat stopped, so we didn't know this whole conversation was going on. And we want to thank some of the people who did try to keep certain people quiet so that we could continue and that they could listen also. But there's a lot of people listening, and when people come in to disrupt or distract through the chat, there's a lot of information that they miss. And this is alive. It's not recorded. So this information, whenever you're reading these comments or engaging in something or trying to disrupt, that you're missing information. And it is true, you can't go back and rewatch the whole thing. But with the live situation, you have the opportunity to ask that question and get that answer at the end of the session in the comments. But if you miss it, you miss that information that you needed to be answered. We're not here live to answer that. And sometimes when we can get to those questions that are after this, it may be a couple of days when we get to answer or something like that, but that's the whole purpose of the live situation. But our trackers are here to learn. They're here to listen. The DVD, if you get this, it will save your life. It has saved lives already. It's helped a lot of people get through certain things just by knowing the information now. But we need to also...
is there anyone who would like to be moderator, volunteer to be moderator? We'll start with one. And that way you can keep an eye on things while we are not. Like if something happens when the calls come in, we're not sure, but that may be what happened last time when the second call came in. We stopped seeing the chats. So we thought everyone was just behaving and being, just not passing notes in class. And there was that whole conversation going on. So we can scroll up and see if anyone...
I'd also like to say, the same sponsor has, if you can see around this frame, now you can see the logo up in the corner over here. The outline now is up and running. We can now have video and photos for you. We're asking some guests to come back on because they have some terrific audio, video, thermals, night vision, photos for y'all. But until today, I think, or
just this afternoon.
I think just this afternoon to where we got this up and running. Thanks to our sponsor, or one of our sponsors, and we do appreciate everything. We're up and running now. So if you are having situations right now, encounters, activity, and you just need some questions, or if you've had like the guests that do come on, if you had those experiences, if you'd like to come on and talk about those things. And all the times we'll talk before coming on, just so you know what we would be talking about and get to know each other better. But thanks to our sponsor, we're up and running. And you want to talk about our guest tonight?
Well, I was going to say that our guest tonight he wants to remain anonymous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So he won't be in here on video, but that's perfectly fine with us. But
and that's his request.
Yes.
But what I was going to say, before we introduce our guest, Tracker E always does the comments before we do that, and then we'll give the phone call, and then talk with him real fast, and then you'll be able to hear what our trackers need to hear. And our trackers, they do pay attention. We can call them up and talk to them, and we know that they're okay. We know that they're doing their deterrence. They're being aware. They're also helping others. It's not just us. It's all the trackers that we have. And a lot of the people who's been with this channel for a long time will tell you that they can help other people. They can identify these things. Their eyes are different now. They see better. They know what to look for. So we'll have, if it's no problem, we'll have Tracker E take care of the comments, and then we'll introduce our guest.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Joe Blow, we've greeted Scott and Joe Blow. Glad you're here. Very
Scott's
glad you're both here.
Joe Blow. And
greeting each other.
Joe Blow says,
Oh, you want me to read the whole thing? Okay, I'm sorry. Hello, how you doing? Finally got off work so that I can watch and listen. Good, good. Not just having to drive and listen. Good.
yeah,
Very
that's
good. And tell your wife hello for us.
yes. Tell your wife hello.
He says, hello, nice to be able to be here and listen. Yes, thank you. Charles is next. Howdy to my friends and warriors.
All right, how you doing,
Hey,
Charles?
Charles.
Great to hear from you.
Tennessee Living says, hello, everyone. Good to see everyone.
Tennessee,
Hello there. Glad
hey.
y'all are here.
Tennessee, I hope you got that message. But we were in the mountains, so we don't. It was a hit and miss kind of thing. But we'd like to have y'all back on and have some more of that audio. And we got some audio that we can put up now. Now that we're up and running, because there's a lot more that you need to share with the people and how you're doing things to deter. Okay. And
more greeting. And then here, Dwayne's in the room. Hi, Dwayne. Glad you're here. Hold on, it jumped up. Tennessee. More greeting. Scott says, I did send it today, Jerry.
okay, that was you, Scott. Great. We will get that to you as soon as we can get to the post office. Actually, hopefully we can do that like tomorrow or something, because we do need to have one more run. And we brought a couple with us to the field, and we were just like, we better take just a couple at least, because we can't make it back to where we're at, because we're up here higher in the mountains. And Joe Blow says, cool, thank you.
Charles says, listen and learn. Seriously, tonight's guest is absolutely incredible, and everyone can learn a whole lot from him and from his faith. Tennessee says, just...
Oh, there it is. All right, good, Charles. Thank you. But we're going to need a different moderator, and at the different. Not that you're not the best, but tonight we're going to ask you to let someone else take over the moderator position. And
if you will do it for the next show, that would be amazing.
Yes, but we need maybe 2 or 3 people keeping up with this, so that this disturbances don't happen, and our guest tonight can share some vital information that we know everybody needs.
Tennessee says just reported the the nonsense, and thank you for doing that. Good.
Thank you so much.
Hey, says, hey fam, hello
BIGFOOT,
there.
hey,
Glad you're here. Parkway, new to this forum. Howdy everyone from the Blue Ridge Parkway. Well, hello there. That's a beautiful area.
I was going to say the Blue Ridge Parkway. In 2008, I was on the Longest Walk too, and we're the group that broke off and became the People's Walk. And while everybody took the other routes, we went through the Blue Ridge Parkway, and that over the hill, over the mountain, where you think that that's the top of the mountain, but it keeps going. Anyway, by the time we got back down to the other side, we found out that was called the Warriors Trail. But glad to hear from you. Have walked through that area.
And went through there recently too.
Yeah, it went through there recently.
Bernice says, hey, I'm here. Bernice is whose brother was our guest the other night. And Bernice will be coming back with us tomorrow night.
Yes, tomorrow night. And either she'll have a guest with her, or she will update and catch us up to what has been going on in her area. And there is a lot of activity there as well.
Pyromedic, hello and thank you. We saw that you were trying to keep some semblance of order and respect in the chat board the other day, and we appreciate that very much. There was a few of you, and thank y'all. He says it's still on screen. You're just blocking it on your screens unless you are a moderator.
Oh, okay.
I think to them, we'll see if anyone volunteers.
Okay. Pyromedic says swamp, great premiere. I think that's a movie. I don't know. But it sounds interesting if it is.
Charles says, I'm waiting, my friends.
All right, all right. And we'll have our guest on around 5:30 as soon as we get through with this. I don't even know what. It's got to be close, so.
Tennessee says, oh, okay, thanks, Pyromedic. No, I'm not a moderator. Dwayne says, I'm at work listening. Good.
All right,
Dwayne. Very good. Bernice says, hey, fam, good evening. I see my
husband on here too. I was just about to say.
That's you, Dwayne.
I was just about to say, is this Dwayne?
Good. Glad you're here. Welcome.
We are.
Okay. I don't see my brothers.
Okay, well, hopefully they'll make it in because they do need to hear all this information as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
The phone's a little far away from us than what we usually have it. Tennessee says, got your message. We'll let Jim know he is running an errand. Thank you. Okay, good deal.
Oh, great.
We had to run a lot of errands today, too. Amy says, hello, everyone. Hey, Amy. Glad
hello,
you're here.
Amy.
Judy Wheeler. Hey, Judy.
Judy. Parkway. Judy favors blue. Okay. And Dwayne says, yes, it is him. That's great. Now we know for sure. Great. We're glad you're here. Judy Wheeler. Oh, okay.
You know what? Everybody wants to, there's no volunteers for a moderator. Everybody wants to listen to the guest. And I don't blame you.
I know. You have to sit there and watch these
things. Great guest. But we'll try to keep an eye on it. And hopefully, if you see it really getting out of control, you'll know that we can't see the chat. If that happens again. And so maybe somebody, I don't know, some of the trackers that know us could text us because sometimes that'll pop up on our screen and we can see that.
Yeah, on Facebook Messenger, sometimes they'll come down or the phone message will come down and let us know. So if you can't do that, let us know.
Yeah. And y'all really were moderating last week.
Yeah, we do appreciate everybody.
People that were determined to cause trouble, and they're blocked now. You don't have to worry about them anymore.
And we will block people if you disrupt, everything. We're here to teach. We have the guests, their teachers, their experiences, their stories. That's experience. That's a teaching that you need to have. And when people are, disrupting like that, we know a lot of our friends want to come in there and defend us like that, but that also takes away from something that you might have missed while the guest was speaking or if we were sharing. So
yeah, you shouldn't have to do that.
No, and you shouldn't have to do that. But we do appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. Or you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, shouldn't have to do it. But you handled it like champs, and some of y'all are very, very funny also at the same time. Hey, Scottish Heather. She's in Oklahoma. We may meet her.
Hey, that would be great. She has, I believe, some experiences she's seen.
Yep, very near. That's one.
Very near this area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Pyromedic says Swamp was a shout out to Bigfoot A9.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Swamp to Bigfoot A9.
Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy.
Jeremy, how are you doing? How are you doing, Jeremy? It's great to hear from you.
It sure is. Underwear, Judy Blue.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of underwear, Judy.
Parkway, I don't use it much anymore. So they've recognized someone.
Oh,
that's
good.
There's a lot of friendships too.
It is, and it's good you brought your friends with you.
Yes, it sure is.
Jeremy says thank you, and we are glad you're here.
Pyromedic says you need to use 2 or 3 moderators in case some can't be here every show. That way, maybe you will have one. That's a good idea. If anyone wants to, we don't want to just.
We just don't. I mean, we don't want to just name you,
y'all. But if you think you would be good, if you think you'd continue to be good at it, let us know. But we also understand that.
I think Pyromedic would be a great one. I think Judy would be a great one.
Yeah.
Jeremy, I know he would be.
You just know that you also want to listen to the lesson too. Good thing is, if you're moderator, you can boot out the ones that keep you from listening to the lesson.
Yeah, be offended.
We have no problem with that.
It's kind of like somebody standing up in class just acting up. You're going, hey,
it's enough.
Even though, like at college, you pay for those classes. Yeah. Here it's free, but then you would be like, hey, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to listen.
Yeah. Pyromedic says, I went back and listened without chat on last week. Good. And you should not have had to do that, but we're glad you did.
Good.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
More greetings.
Jeremy says he's okay. Okay. Well, we're thinking about you, Jeremy.
Sure are.
And Pyromedic says, evening to Judy. So, I would like to give Tracker E the honor of introducing our next guest and giving you just a short kind of what we're going to be talking about, or just however she wants to do.
I think that this man is articulate enough and has such a great story. We don't even want to waste time. He can introduce himself because we did not get time to ask him if he wants to remain anonymous in voice. So if you want to identify yourself when we call you, go ahead. A general description of your area, but don't give any accurate location. That's just for your protection, because there are a lot of unhealthy individuals out there. So we're just excited to get you on here and get you talking. So we're about to call you.
Pyromedic, are you left-handed?
No, it's okay, Pyro. You handle them however you need to. When, even as a not moderator, you did a good job the other night.
Sure did, and thank you for that. All right, so we're going to give our guest tonight a call. It's very important information. I can't stress how vital it is for y'all to listen to this warrior, this spiritual warrior.
And very timely information, considering conversations of the last few days.
Yeah.
And topics of the last few days. It's just godsend, perfect. And this has been planned for a couple of days, so we didn't even know. And today's the perfect day.
Now we know.
For you to come on.
So now we know why.
All right, we're calling you, sir. So no more note passing. You'll just get a piece of paper and write your questions, because you're going to have some, and I'm going to do the same thing. Yeah. If y'all will write your questions at the very end, if they're asked in a respectful manner, and with everyone that's here so far, they will be. We'll ask them, and if our guest wants to answer it, they will. Jeremy says I'm also a lefty.
We'll have to tell you that joke.
Yeah, that's an inside joke with with someone we met.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm fine. How y'all doing?
We are doing great. We're just setting up for you. We're let me just take that out.
I'm watching y'all on TV.
Uh-oh. I hope everything looks good. I need to fix this.
I've got YouTube on my TV.
Oh, that's... Huh? Oh, I'm trying to get this out real fast.
We're getting there, Charles. We're getting there, sir.
Okay, we want to ask the viewers if you can hear Charles. Here, so if you could say a couple of words or something to just let the people know if they can hear you.
Well, this is Charles. I'm the Huckleberry. Can everybody hear me?
Okay, we're gonna wait for. Can y'all hear our guest tonight? Can y'all hear Charles? We got a little delay, so we're just waiting. Give them like 10 more seconds.
It's
all right, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Yes, they can hear you, Charles.
For us, it's raining here, so it's a little hard to hear.
So we might be screaming. Okay, Charles. we're going to give you the floor. We're not going to ask any questions or anything. We just want to hear all the information that you want to share about your life and all the way up to everything that happened and where we're at today.
Amy's having trouble hearing you.
Okay, John, we're going to ask you a question. Charles. Oh, I thought you went somewhere way far.
We're having a lot of trouble hearing you. We heard you say yes very clearly, but we.
Well, y'all can't hear me now.
That's better.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay. Just go ahead and let's talk about everything.
You said it's coming.
All right, then. I can do that. Now, there's a little bit of lag on time here, so just give me a second. I'll get started.
Is that better for the viewers? That sounded clearer to us.
Well, okay.
Is his TV on?
I'm 69 years old. My name is Charles, and I am the Huckleberry. I've always been a pretty private person. And as a child, growing up, I went through a lot of trials and tribulations. My mom and dad were alcoholics. I'm 69 years old. But anyways, growing up, my mom and dad were always fighting, arguing, and I had to deal with a lot of grief there. And when I was 14 years old, they were having an argument one night, and I kept a 12-gauge shotgun in my closet that I always kept on safety, and I thought it was unloaded. But I had to deal with a lot. When their argument, my sister and I were already in bed, and then during their argument, they came in our room. My mom got 12 gauge out of the closet and pointed at my dad. He and my mother was trying to pull the trigger, but she couldn't. I had it on safety. And my dad ran and grabbed the gun out of her hands, and he had a hold of the stock, and he slammed the barrel on the floor, bit my gun barrel. But when he did that, the shotgun went off, and the pellets went all through the hallway and hit the washer and dryer. And I was surprised. I thought I'd unloaded it too. And all my dad said to me was, he looked at me and said, "Son, you almost got me killed tonight." So that really bothered me. And me and my sister were bawling. And they walked out of the room. I got on the floor on my knees and prayed for me and my sister and my mom and dad. Sam was still, my sister was still crying really bad. And I told her, "Sam, don't worry, everything's going to be okay." I prayed for her. And I got up, sat on the side of the bed, and I was looking at the wall, and up above where the ceiling and the wall came together, became a silver lining of clouds up there. and there was two golden doors, and they opened up, and when they opened up, the stairway came all the way to the floor, and Jesus stepped out and said to me, Alan, you don't need to worry. I'm always with you, and everything will be okay. And he walked back through the doors and shut them. And I automatically quit crying. Went to bed, went to sleep, slept good, went to school next day. And 6 months later, everything was pretty good. And 6 months later, me and my two best friends were throwing the football around, kicking, throwing football on the football practice field by the old gymnasium. It's a 2-story basketball gymnasium. We'd been out there for about an hour, and I'm tired. We sat down right in the middle of the field on the 40-yard line, just talking and resting. And this was at about 6:30. Sun was just fixing to go down. And a very, very loud rumble, loud roar that came from the south. And it did it for about 20 seconds. And then it just stopped. I mean, Jim and my friends looked at each other, what was that, you know? And we looked back towards the south, and the street that was beside the field, football field there's a line of trees on the other side of it. Just above those trees came a triangular-shaped UFO. It just started, it was hovering and just came right up over us very slowly and stopped right in the middle. And we were so scared. I don't think I took a breath, but it was there for at least 5 minutes. About 200 feet long, and about 175 feet wide. And when we first saw it, it looked to be about 20 feet high, tall. But on each corner of that triangle underneath, there were lights on each corner under there. They were about 15 feet in diameter on each corner. It was a green neon green light went ringing around it, and then in the center, about 10 feet in diameter, 12 feet, was a bright yellow neon light. And then right in the center of this cloud,
Charles.
Yes.
Can you turn the TV down in your background, or it's throwing an echo off?
Is that better?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for letting us know.
Sorry about that.
Thank you, paramedic.
Thanks a lot. Anyways, on the bottom of that spacecraft, on the bottom, and then in the middle was also lights. It was about diameter of about 40 feet wide, and graduating from the outside down towards the center was about 15 foot wide in diameter, yellow light. Looked like the sun is bright yellow. But graduating down from the outside of that was every color of the rainbow. Neon lights in that circular, all the way around, like circulars. They graduated down to that yellow. And we heard no sounds. Once it stopped coming through the atmosphere roaring, we never heard another sound. It was full wind. And after about 5 minutes, it started moving very slowly towards the gym, the old gym. And once it got about within 15 feet of going outside, its electric light just gone. Well, we ran to Jim, my best friend's, one of my best friend's houses. He's about a half a block from there. We ran in the front door, and as soon as we went in the front door, Channel 7 News was on. His mom was watching the news, and bulletin came on, and they said that the Shepherd Air Force Base had just, which was about 10 miles north of Wichita Falls, that they had just reported on the radar that the unidentified flying object had went over the base at an ungodly rate of speed. So you've got a time lag there of probably 5 seconds from the time that they get the information and get it out. And plus, it maybe took us 6 or 7 seconds to run his house. But anyway, it was just coming on. And I kind of figured we'd get a little bit of paperwork, math on it, me and the Jim. It had been going about between 6,000 and 7,000 miles an hour at that point. And the metal on that craft, I almost forgot to say, was a highly polished bronze looking metal. And I always went to church. My mom and dad didn't go. My sister didn't, but I rode my bike to the church. And I remember Sunday school about Ezekiel talking about God coming to see him in a ship, highly polished bronze in color. And I just took it that after the little deal in the house, in the bedroom, that they come to see me in person. And that's the way I took it anyway. I will graduate from there 7 years in 1974. That was in 1968 when all that happened. In 1974, 21 years old, I'd been married about 10 months, working in the oil field. I was a well service operator, a rig operator, and worked 7 days a week. 10, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. And my wife, at the time, she was 6 months pregnant, and I decided that I needed a break. So I took vacation. And I told her, I said, we ought to get up to, Mom and Dad used to take us when we were teenagers up to Beaver's Bend State Park in Oklahoma, a Broken Bow Lake. So we packed out and headed up there, and I rented a tent site, the furthest south tent site that I could get, and it was the last tent site that I rented. And we set up camp, and we got there hours later in the afternoon. But I still went down and got enough fish to have some fish for supper that night. Rainbow trout, smallmouth bass. Everything went great for the first 2 days. We're going to say 4 days. So everything went great. The next day, we did some hiking, fishing together. Always had fish for, let's say I had enough fish for breakfast, dinner, and supper. Next day, same. Did more hiking. Did a little driving around to the mountains there. Beautiful. And then the next morning, I got up at about 5 a.m. That's when I normally get up anyways when I was working on the oil field. Got up at 5 and made some coffee. And sat there. Drank a couple of cups of coffee. And then I grabbed my fishing gear. And I take a boxing rod and reel and 5-gallon bucket to put my catch in. Walk down to the river of where we were. On that river, there's a cement dam that goes across. It makes the water deeper on the upper side towards the lake, for better swimming, kayak and fishing. Just everything's better with that deeper water. But that's where we've been fishing every day since we got there. And when I got down there, that set up, and wind was blowing in my face, about an 8-mile-an-hour breeze from across the river in my face from the southeast. And I, using an inline single spinner bait that's called a Shasta lure, 1 ounce, white with black dots, and 5 horsehair skirt over barbish treble hook. And I fished, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. It was about 6 o'clock when I made my first cast. Sun was just coming up. And I've been fishing about 25 minutes. I got about a 3-pound smallmouth and 2-pound rainbow trout that I had in my bucket. And I told myself I'll catch one more and that'll be enough for, breakfast that morning. And I went to make a cast. Went back with my lure and started forward, and it didn't go forward. I thought, I'm hung up on a tree. I turned looking up about where I thought my plug would be on the tree, and when I got turned around, excuse me, all I saw was the wall with cinnamon brown hair. Now I never knew that these things existed. I never knew anything about the Patterson Gimlin. I remember they had a porcelain oil field. I didn't have time to watch TV, so I never knew anything about these creatures. And I found it on my Jerry Tracker E. All the knowledge that they had, I may have been once closer, but one to a beautiful park that you've been to before. Fishing, and that's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about anything else. Just having a good time, catching what you need for breakfast. Anyways.
I got a picture of the Bigfoot that you had drawn up on the screen right now.
Well, I can't see it, but anyways, when I turned and saw that wall of cinnamon brown hair, I was looking up and I saw where the lure had hung in it. The thing's chest, on the upper left, his chest on the left side. And my head, the top of my head, not 6 foot tall, the top of my head was about 5 inches below this thing's belly button. His biceps on his arm was bigger, as big as my waist or bigger. I had a 32-inch waist. And huge. I mean, just huge. And I didn't want to look at his face, but I had to, like it made me look at his face. So I made that was looking. And he had his mouth open a little bit, and I could almost feel him breathing on me. His head was as big as a 5-gallon bucket. His eyes were as large as Coke cans and red. I mean, not glowing red, just deep red. And conical head. His eyes, his teeth were shaped like a horse's, but they were twice as big as, if you know what a horse's teeth look like. They were, block teeth, but his teeth were twice the size of a horse's teeth. And his eye teeth were a little pronounced, not too bad, but a little pronounced. But as I'm looking at him, I'm feeling he's making a really, really low growl. I mean, it wasn't loud, it was just really low, and felt like all my bones in my body were rattling. And I could feel the pressure all over me. He didn't have a hold of me. I could just feel the pressure. And he was 5 feet from me. But I could feel the pressure on me. And I didn't say it. I just remember thinking, oh my God, I'm so sorry for hurting you. And it was like you turned the switch off. Everything went black. And I went black. I passed out. I'm sure I would have probably used the restroom in my underwear and my pants if I hadn't passed out. But I was at about 6:30, 6:35. And I remember I woke up, looked at my watch, it was 7 o'clock. And I raised my head and I was busy. My head was throbbing, hurting bad. And I was just shaking up the curve. I sat up and looking around, saw that my tackle box had been smashed flat. I mean flat, just about as far as you can get it, really. And my rod and reel was broke 4 pieces. And the 3 pieces that I had in my bucket were gone. He'd taken them. And I was looking around, and where he was standing, I saw 2 footprints there, and thank God, I've never seen footprints that big. So I pried my tackle box open as best as I could and I carried measuring tape and got it out and measured those feet, those footprints. They were 22.5 inches long, 10 inches wide at the ball of the foot, and 7 inches wide at the heel. Excuse me. I just told myself I got to get away from here. I knocked the dirt and filled in the prints so nobody else would see them. I don't know. It's just something I didn't want anybody else to see. I guess I covered them up, filled them in, and had my crushed and broken fishing gear in my bucket and carried them up to a trash bin. It was about 40, 50 yards from the camp. So I'd hauled it in there and walked back. I walked back to camp. And I sat down, still shaking uncontrolled, being happy to be alive and breathing. I poured myself another cup. Sat there waiting for my wife, my pregnant wife, for 6 months to get up. And she got up and exited the tent. Asked me how my fishing was this morning. Kind of like I told her someone, and during the night he snuck in and stole all my fishing equipment, which pissed her off really good. But I didn't know how to explain. I couldn't explain what I saw down there at the river. I just I couldn't get it out. And had a cup of coffee with her, poured a cup of coffee, and had a cup of coffee with her. And I told her, baby, I just feel like I'm not feeling too good. We need to leave. So we left today early, a day and a half early. And never went back. Never told anybody until 8 months ago. So I went about 48 years and didn't tell anybody anything. But shortly after coming back, I started having night terrors. Once, twice a night, nearly every night, sometimes just every other night, but for a year straight. I mean, I'd be on the river, and I'd hear something, and I'd turn, and this damn creature would be creeping up on me in a spider crawl. And he see me, he jumped to his feet, and about that time he'd grabbed me by my shoulders and picked me up to his eye level, and I'd see his big mouth and those big teeth open up, and that's when I'd wake up, or my wife would wake me up because I'd be screaming, kicking, hitting. I'd wake up everybody and everything that's in the house. And that happened at least once, sometimes twice a night. Not every night, every other night for a year. So I went, I didn't go fishing, or I didn't do anything for a good while until I met my second wife, and she already had 2 children. I had 2 by that time. And I had people with me that I trusted, and I loved her, and I started taking the kids out and getting them in Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. But it was always there, and I was still having night terrors. I still have them to this day. It probably at least once a month. But then, after that happened at Beaver Bend State Park, I moved me and my wife to a new home, a rent home, a house that we rented just to buy half a block from the high school. And I didn't at the time know that there'd been an old elderly couple that lived there, and both of them had died there. The older man come find out he was a really mean, ornery type person. Anyways, we've been there about 3 weeks. I came in from work one day and walked in, and my wife, I hollered at her and asked her if everything's going okay. She said, yeah. I walked in and going to go to the restroom, and she had been cleaning, and then there was Comet soap. And I didn't know that. I walked in there, and as soon as I walked in that, turned and walked in the door, it was like Comet powder haze just all over in the bathroom. I stopped and I stepped back, walked back towards the kitchen where she was, and I said, "Were you trying to suffocate us or what?" And she said, "No, I had the Comet sitting on the bathtub." I said, "Well, that's not where it's at. It's in the floor. There's dust. Comet dust fell in the whole room." And she started heading that way. I walked back and looked in the bathroom. I told her to forget it. I thought I lost my mind. Comet was sitting on the tub, and there was nothing in the air. So I was going crazy. I walked out of there. She was still back. She went back to the kitchen. So I walked back that way, and this older couple had built a bedroom on the back of that house. And when I got to the edge where that door was to make a left to go to the kitchen, right door just opened up on its own. It opened up, and I stopped, wondering why it could open. And it felt like something walked right in on me. The temperature in the house was about 75 degrees, but where I was standing, it went down to 32 or 33. I mean, I could see my breath. And it felt like my hair was standing on end. And she looked at me and said, "So what's wrong with you?" And I said, "I'm not sure. I think something's got a hold of me." And I just started praying. Excuse me. Jesus, help me. And it went away. And I walked on in the kitchen, and I looked to the left where the washer and dryer was. And up above in the ceiling in the corner was about 500 flies, the bigger flies. It has the white stripes on the back. It was about 500 in the balls. up there in the corner. And I said, I didn't know we had any flies in the house. I haven't seen any lately. She said, I didn't either. And I grabbed, we had 2 fly swatters. I went to killing flies. And I got finally all the flies killed after about 15 minutes. And because I'd swat to kill some, and they'd fly off and come out back. And at that time, I had a drink every now and then. I had some rum. I like rum and coke back then. I had a fifth of rum on the top of the refrigerator, and it had been opened. It's full. So my wife was put clothes in the washing machine after I got all the flies killed, cleaned up. And I started to head out the back door. There was dead flies in the trash out there. And that full bottle of rum flew and hit my ex-wife in the left side of her face and her left shoulder, and went behind the washer in that corner. And I went on outside, and I asked her if she's all right. She said, yeah. And I went on out and put the flies out, and there was a big old raven in the backyard, dive bombing my German Shepherd in the backyard. I grabbed my pellet gun and killed that dang raven. And then I was smelling really, I thought I had a sewage problem under the house. It smelled dead, like something dead around there too. And my wife said, what is that smell? I said, I don't know. So I called the plumber, and he come over, Ricky Graves come over. And they crawled all in under that house, couldn't find anything. And I said, well, that's okay. I went and walked in the house. I got on the phone and called nobody. He had a horse trailer, big one. And we commenced moving. And we moved out of that house. We were loading up the last few pieces of furniture. Had my German Shepherd out front with me. And excuse me, the car run over him in the road. Just did slow down and just run over him. And it broke my heart really bad, you know. Well, we got moved away from the damn house, and I never drove back down the street again. And I hope I haven't taken too much of y'all's time, but
oh, not at all.
No, we're waiting for more.
You talk as long as you need to.
Yeah, we're waiting for more. I know you got more stories than this. I mean, this.
You can fill in any details you want.
Because we know your spirituality is intact. And, you know, when you're calling on Jesus, whenever you keep going.
I was baptized when I was 11 years old. You know, I found myself going to church. I was baptized at 11. And we're seeing Jesus, and I know it was in maroon. And then that highly polished spaceship coming to see me. And I just merely know that was why it came. My mother, the last 10 years that she was alive, my church, I didn't go to church, but I always watched Shepherd's Chaplain on Direct TV. And my pastor was Pastor Arnold Murray, up there in Ribbett, Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas. And he died a few years back, and I still watch it with his boy, Dennis, pastor now. 10 years before my mom passed away, I got her to watching Pastor Arnold Murray. He was a theologian. He was actually in the Marines during the Korean War. He was a chaplain. But he studied all over the world, all the different religions. He was a theologian. He taught chapter by chapter, verse by verse, where those that were not quite inclined to reading and understanding what they're reading. There's a lot of people can't read the Bible and understand what they're reading and put it all together. But the way he told it, he read it chapter by chapter, verse by verse, and explained it very well. Well, my mom, I got her watching it, and I saw him because she would get up in the first thing in the morning. She'd drink 2 6-packs of beer and be hollering all day, screaming. And she just was a sad case. Anyhow, the last 10 years, she got off drinking. Excuse me. And she told me, son, she has the best thing you ever gave me. And I was with her when she died. I was the only one in the room. She had to hold my hand. And she was looking up to heaven. Excuse me. And told me, son, I'm ready. Look. I listened to her take her last breath. And I shut her eyelids. And that was in 2002. And the Lord, she just Lord we live. But I was still watching. I was up in chapel. I get 17 hours a day here where I live. I watch at least 6 to 7 hours of it a day. I've recorded almost all of these shows, especially Revelations, Ezekiel, Eddie's Cloud. I've recorded most of them on DVR. So when he's not on, I can watch them all one time. And I started telling all my information, and I'd already personal, but about what happened at BIGFOOT State Park on that River about 8 or 9 months ago. Because I still have PTSD over that and lots of other stuff, but that was worse. To try to bring, awareness up. I had no idea what I was looking for. I was having a great time. And he just snuck up behind me. I never snuck him because the wind was blowing in my face. Never heard him. Now they can be that quiet. He had to go 11 foot plus tops high. I mean, he was 11 feet higher in height. His shoulders were between 5 and 6 foot wide. And he had been, I'm say, 11 to, 1,200, 1,300 pounds. He was huge. He was huge. But people got to know, people got to know about these things being out there. I know there's been lots of people probably killed by these things, and dogman. I've never seen a dog man, but I can understand that they might be probably meaner than as far as getting humans. I don't know if that's fact, just my opinion, but gotta have awareness out there. These parks, they let people know what can be out there. And when you're on fishing, when you're on the river with running water, you can't hear that well behind you. And Jerry Tracker, he and the rest of his trackers, if I'd have known the slightest about what I might could have seen up there, it would have been different. Maybe it wouldn't have hit me as hard. I'm just thankful to be here with them now and learning all I can learn. And I definitely carry a big gun now. When I get close to the woods, I'm not going to have a rod mill in my hand. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all have the rest of it. I'll catch some ribs over here. I told you about that. I'm gonna sit back and listen to the rest of y'all's show and eat me some smoked ribs.
Well, actually, Charles was wondering if we can ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We also want to see if we have any questions from the audience tonight who's listening in. But I'll let
That'd
try.
be great.
Okay. Let me start off with there's a guy. If you go to 10IC Living 1984 to his YouTube page, there's a video of a Marine who's talking about those same ships and those same green people that you're talking about.
Gary, I've already watched that. You talk about this, all this stuff happened up in Alaska, right?
Yes.
On the military base?
Yes.
Yes, I'm already 25, 30, 40 footers up there.
Yes. So they're seeing, and it's not your imagination or anything like that. They're out there. Military bases have them. There's a lot of things that we're not being told.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I'm a knower now. I'm not even a believer. I'm a knower. So, as Steve Isdall says, I'm a member of the Club of No Return now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are. And it's for me, when people do see these things finally, and they finally get that understanding, those are the people we can talk to.
Well, I want to say this: when you turn around and there's 11 footer or taller thing standing 5 feet behind you, that wrecks your whole world right there, brother. That just wrecks your whole world. Anyway, but I'm here. I'm still breathing.
Yeah, and that's another thing we wanted to talk to you about. But I also want to talk about your mother real fast and how her spirituality was.
She had no spirituality with her at all, up until 10 years before she died, and I just explained to her, Mom, you can't keep going like this. You need to settle down, quit drinking so much. You need to. And I sat down and got her watching Shepherd's Chapel. I watched a couple of shows with her, and she said, he really explains it really good. I said, Mom, you just keep it in your heart and your mind and watch him all the time. Every time he's on, watch him. And, that was she lived in Oxford City, and I lived down here by Houston, or, North Houston. I'm not going to tell you where, but North Houston, somewhere out there. And she watched him for 10 years. And she told me, son, that's the best present you could ever give me.
So she
I didn't know it could be that good.
Well, she passed with Jesus right there.
Yes, she did. She was looking up to heaven and had hold of my hand, and looked at me and said, "Son, I'm ready to go now." And looked back up towards heaven, and I don't know if you've ever been around somebody's died to taking that last breath, but it's kind of a rattle. And she died with her eyes open and closed them. But she went to Jesus and God. Yeah.
Now Jesus is very strong with you also.
Very, Oh, yeah. He's always been with me. He's kept me out of many places where I could have died. I almost had a couple of wrecks. Went to sleep one night, went off the bridge, running about 85 miles an hour. Just missed the bridge rail. Railing. Very deep embankment. Went down that. As soon as my tires hit the gravel, I woke up, and I was already mid-air flying. When the front tires hit, I just turned to the left and forwarded and went down that embankment until I was up level enough to where I could come up out of the ditch. And he hadn't been with me. I'd been dead that night.
Yeah, you didn't just miss that rail. That was the only place. That was the only place he could put you.
Yeah, I missed that bridge railing about 6 inches.
That's the only place he could put you was in the ditch.
That's right. I was at 85 miles an hour. I was going to become airborne about that time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're protected by Jesus. I mean, everything you've been through, even the Bigfoot encounter, and we'll ask you questions about that in a second, but even that encounter, Jesus was with you, protected you.
Yes, because when I didn't get it out of my mouth, but I know I thought it. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for hurting you. I just really know that when I got God out of my thoughts, that's probably what saved me right there. Because I mean, he could have thrown me way out in that water, ripped me in half, thrown me out there, but he didn't. So I think he was just more concerned to get my fish.
You know,
be careful fishing, y'all.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. I mean, but we have shown in that DVD. They're at, and talked about. They're at the fishing holes, the hunting blinds. Even when the hunters think that they're hunting, they got a blind right there watching and waiting for that hunter to come in.
Oh yes, and they can be on them before they know it, and be right under them. And that's all. But no, I've always had Jesus with me. When I fell in 2017 and I broke 6 ribs, I was in a hotel by myself. I slept because there was there's no texture in the bottom of that new bathtub, and I slept. And when I hit on my left side. I broke 6 ribs. I had a total of 8 breaks. Top 2 ribs broke in the front and the back, and punctured my left lung. And this is all I could do to get out of that tub, and crawl to the floor, or crawl and get on the phone and explain to the desk what happened. And I thought I was going to die again. I'm serious. I managed to get a car door on and crawled to a chair and sat there. It took an ambulance 25 minutes, and I was right in Wichita Falls. It took 25 minutes for an ambulance to get there. Anyway, they took care of me, evacuated my lung. They didn't evacuate my torso. And found out 6 months later I had to go to a thoracic surgeon because my ribs weren't healing. So they opened me up, about 8.5 inch scar on my left side, and put titanium U plates on each rib, straighten them up, put titanium screws in there to straighten the ribs. A week after I was in there, I got out. Everything went great. I got an MRSA staph infection in my torso, not my bloodstream, but the dead blood that was in me from breaking my ribs. There was about 1.5 pints of dead black blood in my torso that infection hit it. And I got back to I called them, my specialist, and they told me to get back in there, so I did. They isolated me, quarantined me, and the CDC come in and they opened me up, hooked the wound vac system up to me after they washed me out. I had an IV in both arms. I had 5 antibiotics on one IV and 5 on the other one. When they would empty, they'd give me another 2. And they opened me up 3 more times, washing me out, and putting the wound vac system on me. So when I got to the hospital, it looked like I was looking forward to 3/4 of my sight was dark, and I only had a little bit of light over on the left, on the right side, excuse me. So I was close to going, but thank God, God had to help me there. Jesus was with me, because the guy with CDC, he said, I don't know really how you come through this, but you did. So somebody was helping you, because we have people up here that came in sooner and didn't make it with this stuff. Well, it was bad enough. I only had it overnight to get point, it tapped that dead blood in me, made it look like a strawberry milkshake. But just overnight, it degraded the bottom 2 ribs that they had put titanium plates on, that the screws wouldn't stand on. They had to take those plates and screws out on those bottom 2 ribs. So I've got 2 ribs that just dangling. But a guy with CDC, I didn't even know he'd come in. Okay, I was in there a week and a half. The 5th day, he said, it was the 5th day. Come in. He said, how you doing this morning, Charles? So I asked him, I said, the hell are you? He's about 85 years old. And he told me who he was. He said, I was here with you. Came in the first day. And I said, sir, I don't remember much about the first 3 or 4 days here. And that's when he told me if I'd waited another 5 or 6 hours getting there, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And,
So when did
he's telling me what I think you're telling me, and he said, yes, you wouldn't have made it. So I know Jesus was holding me in my hand and helping me with that. Anyway, that left me with some PTSD as well. Just added on to my other PTSD I had from 48 years ago. But I'm getting better every day. I'm getting better. I've actually got some camping stuff together, and I'm ready to get out. I got to get some exercise, because I've been kind of shut in for a few years. I've got a bass boat that I don't use no more. I've got these in my garage that I need to get rid of. I'm never going to play. I don't think I'll ever get back out in it. But thinking about getting out in San Houston National Forest up here, Stubblefield Lake Road out there area, and there's Kelly's Pond out there. The Stubblefield's probably where I want to go. Bought me a tent. I've got a lot of stuff. Night vision goggles. Bought me a laser. It's a blue. It's got a blue light on it. Strong. I mean, it shines from here to infinity. I mean, and you can actually strong enough. You can turn it. You can start a fire with it. You can turn it down low and up to the smallest beam. You can actually start a fire with it. And I got a lot of stuff. Got 2 big old good flashlights that are bright.
We might have to do some camping then.
Well, I'm wanting to get back out there. I've got to. I don't want to get away from nature. I always loved it. Growing up in the Boy Scouts, I loved scouts and getting out in the forest.
I was gonna ask you, whenever the Bigfoot was standing in front of you and you're face to face with it, and it
I
bent.
My head was right below his navel, about 5 inches, so I wasn't face to face.
No.
But I was looking up. I had to nearly break my neck to see his face. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, did it look down and like growl hard, or did it just growl? Whenever you got that,
Jerry, it was a very low growl. I mean, it was directed into me, and that's why my bones felt like rattling in my body in that pressure. No, it wasn't loud. It wasn't just a very low. I couldn't hardly hear it, but I could feel it, the growl. And that's when he was showing his teeth, and his eyes started to squint. And I thought, well, oh my God, I'm so sorry I heard you in that. And that's when the lights went out in Georgia, and I passed out.
when you woke up, did you have headaches or nausea or?
I couldn't. Yes, I had a very bad headache. It felt like all my energy had been drained out of me. I was shaking uncontrollably, hyperventilating. And when I sat up, I was looking around, and that's when I saw my tackle box had been smashed flat, and my rod was broke. And I looked over to my left, and that's when I saw the two big old footprints he'd left when he was standing there.
Did you have any bruises or aches when you woke up?
I was so I hit pretty hard when I fell. The back of my head hurt, and I thought I hit it to be rock, but I was sore all over. I mean, it was like somebody had, taken baseball bats and just beating me all over. I mean, it felt like my muscles were just sore all over. And I don't know, maybe I attribute that to the pressure and that I felt. I don't know, because he didn't put a hand on me that I know of. He might have after I passed out. I don't know. But,
most, if not all, of the symptoms that you're talking about can be caused by infrasound.
Well, that's what I think it was, because the growl, the very low growling that I was hearing wasn't loud, and but I could tell it was directed into me, my brain and my body. Mm-hmm. I could feel my bones rattling. And with that pressure, like I was inside a pressurized room, it's closing in on me, And all I could think was, "Oh God, I'm so sorry for hurting you." And that didn't come out of my mouth. I thought it, but I'm sure he picked up on it, and that's when the lights went out.
Yeah, some of these creatures can even knock people out, from behind. And sometimes they will take blood from people. And when people wake up, they have a loss of blood, which is like anemia. And your body will be cramping, you'll be nauseated, sweats,
rapid
heartbeat. Rapid heartbeat.
Oh, now I had all rapid heartbeat, but I want to tell you something. I didn't lose any blood. I know that, because
okay.
I would have surely seen a spot on me that it bled.
Good.
Okay, good. That's why we was asking if you had. That's why we was asking if you had bruises or things like that.
I didn't find any bruises, but it was like I had, if you run and you did exercise, all your muscles are sore. That's what it felt like. I mean, I was sore all over, but without bruising.
And when did you tell your wife about this?
Never.
Never?
I never told her. I hadn't told anybody till about 8 months ago.
Oh,
It's been for about 48 years. I've never told so.
oh,
We're
wow.
very, very honored that you would tell us.
Y'all are really good people, and I trust you. So, I got to be open with people I trust.
No, and I'm glad we could talk like this.
When you looked at its eyes, did you look in its eyes? Because that can be a way that mind connection can be, that a connection can be made. I know you said you saw its eyes, but any time
Did you see
spent
those
looking,
eyes on that picture?
sir?
Yeah.
Did you see those red eyes on that picture that Jerry had up?
Yes, sir.
Imagine that being a real creature and your 5 foot son looking into his eyes.
Awful. Was the red that was?
They were red, not glowing. They were just deep red, just like that picture.
A lot of times.
And the lady that drew that picture made that
and her name is Sibylla Irwin.
Yes.
Very good artist.
If you look, even the center, those pupils are a dark, deep red.
Okay. Yes, we were wondering if they were self-illuminated.
There was no illumination,
okay.
No white. All of it was red, but just the center, the pupil in there was deeper red.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they can use eye contact to make a connection with you, and then they'll start coming into your dreams to
Well, I figure that's what happened because back then I didn't know what PTSD was. I never heard of it. Okay, I just didn't. Working in the oil field, I just knew oil field and didn't watch TV either. I didn't know what PTSD was. But that's definitely what I had been going through because I'll tell you, those night terrors, you can ask my wife now. I had one about 2 weeks ago again. And I had mine maybe once a month still. But for a year, I had them every night, once or twice a night or every other night for a year. And I'd wake up everybody in the house and everything, all the animals, scare the hell out of them. And wakes up in a cold sweat, hyperventilating. I woke up many times. One time I kicked the basket chest with my toe, my right toe, and my big toe on my right foot, and then I laid it wide open. So you can hurt yourself in some of those things too, out there.
Yeah, and also when Bigfoots are around, there's an increase in death. Spiders, there's an increase in spiders, blackbirds, lice, crows, smell.
Yeah. That might have been part of what that, because it was about 6 months after that, we moved into that house, and I don't know, that big raven that was chasing, dive bombing my German Shepherd, I killed that thing with a pellet gun. I didn't see any boy to kill him.
Yeah, we were very sorry to hear about your dog.
Well, I was too. His name was King, and he was a dang sure good German Shepherd. Oh. And I thought we were going to be able to get away from there and leave and be all right. And he got run over with some gun in the street, swerved over to the right to hit him.
Oh, wow.
And run over him and left. Because I saw him swerve over.
Yeah. What was the last thing you said?
Yeah. I saw him swerve and hit the dog. Oh, my goodness.
And we're also very, very glad to hear that God welcomed your mama home and that you are the one that led her to him and away from the spirits of alcohol.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that she put the alcohol down, and for the last 10 years she didn't drink it. I was so glad of that, I think she might have lived longer, but she died. She had cancer and congestive heart failure. She was smoked like a freight train too. She still smoked, but she quit her drinking. But anyways, I know she's up there with the Lord. She's up there with Jesus and our God. She's with
You know, demons, they're everywhere, and also, if I mean, you've seen the DVD, so you know how they look when they turn translucent.
Right. I've watched that DVD 4 times now.
Oh, all right. You're ahead of a lot of people then.
Yeah, I've watched it 4 times, and then I like I say, watched the guy that was in the Marines up there in Alaska too.
Yes.
That one's kind of hard to swallow too, man.
Yeah. And, you know, even
I mean, and there was that many up there. I mean, they just kept coming.
Yeah. I know.
You know, I'm just wondering, are these things, they're getting closer into cities?
Yes.
You know, and they're not scared. They don't have to be scared. They can go anywhere they want to.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, if they want to go over there, you're not going to stop them. If they want to come over here, you're not going to stop them.
Yep.
Unless you know how to stop them.
Yep.
Right.
You know, and they can be camouflaged and be up on you before you know they're there. And that's I'm just waiting for the shoe to drop gun and see what happens. I'm hoping that God and Jesus can hold them back from these coming down into these cities.
Yeah.
You know, in rural cities, smaller cities.
Yeah. The only problem with that is there's a lot of people who invite things like this in, not knowing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people it's been told wrong. You don't feed something that can eat you.
Yep.
Right.
That's about all they think about is eating you.
Yep.
They might be friendly today, and you fed them, and everything was fine. And then in the morning you go out to feed them, and you're the food then.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. No, I don't. I wouldn't feed one. And if I saw a dog man, I've got a lot of lead injections for that one.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't even think about twice about shooting a dog, killing a dog man.
Oh yeah, they're vicious out there.
And you are currently in a hot spot. The one where you saw the Bigfoot is a hot spot, and so is the area of Southeast Texas that you're in.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that Sam Houston National Park and the Big Thicket.
There sure is.
Just east of there is really, and I think why. Down here they're pretty aggressive.
Yes.
They're not passive at all. They'll throw the whole damn tree at you down here.
Right. Given the opportunity, they're aggressive everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even those that have been, I just watched a lady the other day on YouTube. I think it's Into the Veil is the name of it.
Yes, sir.
Into the Veil, and they live in Arkansas somewhere. I'm not sure. And they've got 7 or 8 of them up there that are habituated into their countryside there that they are friendly with or friends with. Feed them, give them things, and I'm just so concerned with them.
Tell this.
You got 7 or 8 of them up there, and they can just tear your ass down around you, and you with it. Before you know what's happening.
Yeah, there's another woman that was feeding these things for a while to where she had to start buying cattle and things like that to feed them, and then she ran out of money and couldn't feed them anymore, so she moved.
So the people coming behind her will be.
Yeah, but the next people who's going to move in there
are set up.
Oh yeah, they don't, and they're not, if they're not told about it.
Yeah.
They can expect very bad problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
And these Bigfoots, turning translucent or just reflecting the light, they can be inside your houses. They're also called shadow people, blurs.
Right. Have you? I think you had it on your site there today or yesterday, where you watched Mark Martin's interview with Carrie Arnold.
Yes,
Mark
that's
Martin, the one that they had the hands on him. We call them masters. They were the cloaked beings that they call themselves the masters.
yep,
That's all we are. That to them, we're fodder, we're food,
yep,
and they play a toy with you till they want you.
Yes.
yep.
Oh Lord, that interview was scary.
It was sad. It was heartbreaking. It was terrifying.
Because it was true.
Yes.
Yes, it's true. I've talked to him in person, and I want to tell you that poor man. I mean, I got PTSD, but I'm surprised he didn't die flat out with a heart attack when that happened. But,
Yeah.
he was by himself out there too.
What?
He was by himself at that cabin too when that happened to him.
Do you have any idea how he's doing?
At last I heard, he's doing much better.
Good.
He still doesn't get out. He's a homebody now. He don't get out. Hardly doesn't get out to go to the store. Anyway, getting back to what we were talking about the other day, your interviewee the other day, I kind of want to get with him if I can, because I don't know of any other people down here in my area that I could get with, and I really, truthfully, I don't want to get out there by myself yet. I just don't know that I want to try to do that. I still got too many issues there, but if I had somebody with me, I would.
Yeah, could you do a day thing?
Huh?
Could you do a day thing, like a day hike or day track?
Have I?
I mean, could you? Like if, say somebody showed up one day out of the blue and said,
well, I think I probably can, but I'm 69 years old. I'll be 70 this next August, so I'm getting closer to that perfect age, 100.
yeah,
I'm 69 right now. I can still get out, get around there. Not as good as I used to because my left lung never did feel, completely healed. I know I've got a lot of scar tissue in my left lung, but I can still get around,
Yeah,
I got out there and cooked barbecue ribs today, running back and forth. So
yeah. So we're just kind of hitting around that if say we show up one day, because we don't tell people when we show up.
You don't have to tell me. Just show up.
All right, that sounds like a plan then.
I got room, but I got two.
That sounds like a plan, Charles.
I might just cook some good ribs if you eat them.
Yeah, we sure will. But yeah, we'd like to meet with you and like we said, shake your hand, warrior. I mean, you're a spiritual warrior. You know Jesus, you know how to be a warrior, all this. We're just proud to know you.
Truly.
Jerry, he's always with me. I don't have to worry about it. He's here with me all the time.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I want to tell everybody in the audience there that I love all of them. And it's a pleasure to be able to be here, to still be here at 69 and talking to y'all. I just love being around the good people. And these warriors, I mean, I'm there with you on that. I've always been a warrior. I've always been a team player. In football, I was fastest guy in Texas in track in 70 and 71. Just a little bit behind Bob Hayes in a 100-yard dash. I ran a 9.35. He ran a 9.3. So, and the world record in 220-yard dash was 19.5. I ran the fastest time was a 19.6. 220-yard dash. you know, and I was most able football player, most able player 71, 70, 70 and 71 as well, both those years. Yeah, I've always been a team player, you know. That's what you got to work. That's the way you got to work it when you're out there in the forest. We're doing what y'all do.
Yeah.
You team player.
And you know,
and you also got to have Jesus in your back pocket.
Sure do. Hey, you know, we've been noticing that all the people that, you know, who regularly come to the channel and the ones who have had some kind of encounter and survived it or, you know, survived it like a warrior, that it's like powerful people starting to show up.
Oh yes, you know, good vibrations draw other good vibrations, and that's a very good strong tool when you got Jesus in your back pocket too, when you're out there fighting against these things. And I know where to place my lead injections too on these things.
Good.
You're helping a lot of people tonight, Charles, with your testimony, your story.
Well, I don't know if it's helping them, but it's sure helping me.
Well, that's what it's about.
Anytime you can talk about this kind of stuff, getting it off your chest, out of your mind, it's got to help a little.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And it brings our friendships closer.
Oh, definitely.
And the fear
so I
loses
always
its.
call y'all my friends because you're.
Yeah, we know it.
We're honored to be your friends. Scary things lose their power when you can talk about them. And
definitely.
And we really appreciate you for being there with us when we was out in the field for 2.5 months. That a lot of people don't know it, but
that's what friends do. That's what friends are for. They're always going to be there when you need them.
We could tell that you really care about us.
Yes, I'm concerned because I couldn't be nothing else but concerned, especially when you're out there with things and that I know what they look like.
Yeah.
Yes,
you're out there with them.
Yeah.
And we would not mind at all going to Kelly's Pond with you, but we wouldn't go overnight at Kelly's Pond. I've been in that area and I know too many stories of that area. But daytime.
Come on.
Daytime.
Yeah, we'll be there. I mean, we'll go track it, don't we?
You know how much PTSD I've been digging with for 48 years?
Come
now,
on.
I'm talking big, but I might get out there and put up the tent and then I can stay.
That's true. It's more of a precaution than it's not fear, it's a precaution.
Yeah. There's just no need anymore now that we know.
Yeah, no need to prove anything.
We did certain things just to be able to do the DVD and as we were learning.
I have never slept with a weapon, but when I go out there and camp out, I'll be sleeping with my AR-15.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
And my 9mm on my side.
Yep. And that's why.
Bowie knife on my.
Yeah, hey, we do too. We got ours.
Also, how is your wife doing?
She's doing much better. She's getting out on it. It's still letting her know it's her. But she's doing much better. Thank you.
Good.
Thank
Taking good care of her.
She said she thanks you for it.
Oh.
She said what?
She thanks you for it.
She said to thank y'all for it.
Good. We will be excited to meet her as well.
Oh, she's redheaded. Apache. She's part of Apache.
Okay, well, we'll make a short visit.
Scorpio. She's a Scorpio.
We'll make it a really short visit.
No.
You have to be tough.
It can't be short.
No, we'll make sure we can spend a couple days with you.
Can we go through the comments?
Yeah, that would be great.
Hey, Charles, we're gonna go through the comments and see if anybody has any questions for you.
All right, I'm gonna listen.
Okay.
They're only going up to where it starts, where Bodie says back. That's all we can see on our screen. So we're not sure what happened there. The first comment we're going to start with then is back, and then it's ghost start answer saying ghosting us, and that's better.
Bodie wants to know what year again did the encounter happen? The picture encounter.
It was a Bigfoot. It was 1974, first week of March in 1974. Yeah, in the great weather. We had lows of 55 to 60 and highs of 65 to 75. It was great.
Great day to go fishing, huh?
Well, I thought it was.
But every day is, especially with that DVD, now we know what to look for, where to look, and that they will be around fishing holes and stuff.
That's why I've watched it 4 times, and I'm probably going to watch it again in a little while.
Yeah, we watch it over too, and just like, wow, there's so much information in this.
I didn't realize one of those things in there about logs going over a ravine, being a bridge, and I mean, some of those can be accidents, but then some of them are not, and they just push them over where they can go across them.
Exactly.
Yep.
When we were leaving this place,
and they grab the end of it and slide you off the side of it. No, I ain't gonna do that. No.
Yeah, us either.
or be waiting at both ends once you
Get in the middle.
get out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
And if people know that,
When y'all,
go
yeah,
ahead.
and I didn't realize that they would get off in those ravines and dig out from under, root systems under trees and make caves under there.
And you seen
I
it was,
didn't know that either.
and you seen it was Tracker E who went into that cave.
I sure did. I sure did.
Yeah, it was
And
something.
that was tall enough you could stand up in there, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And that was completely dug out. It wasn't just a natural formation. It was created there.
Right.
Or
and there was enough room in there for 4 or 5 of them to get in there.
Yeah, sure was.
And
Sure
really couldn't even see all the way into it.
And
It
she
was
had
just time to go.
and she had a feeling it was time to go, she said.
Well, yeah, it's time to go. Yeah. I know
learned
it's
to
time to
listen
go.
to that, don't we?
I can figure out when it's time to go.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I just don't need to stay long enough where it makes me pass out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And even the infrasound can constrict your heart and increase your heartbeat so much that can even just make you pass out, can make you lose body functions.
I've heard that there has been people that have had heart attacks later on, and that it affected the muscles in their heart to where it gave them a heart attack later on, even that or a stroke.
Exactly. Even after the fact, right?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Later on, that it hit them so hard that the after effects, 6 months or a year down the road, and that's what caused it. That infrasound weakened went up that much.
Yes, sir.
So
we're gonna scroll through some more comments.
I'm gonna try to learn all I can with this stuff. I've got to.
Yeah, we
Before
all
I
have
die,
to.
I've got to learn all I can.
We gotta learn everything.
We're going to scroll through the comments and look for more questions for you.
Sounds good.
Jim and Matt saying hi, but out diving for parts. So they're running errands, but they're checking in. Good deal.
Yeah, there's people listening, even if they're on the road, they said.
Good. So many people were excited about this.
They couldn't wait to hear this
story, Charles.
Well, I hope I hadn't run all of them off.
You've done wonderful.
Oh, no, actually, we've got more viewers than we've probably ever had. And we've had some great interviews. but tonight there's 22 in here. I think the highest we had was 17, and tonight with you we got 22. So
Good.
everybody's interested.
Well, I am now. Before for 48 years, I just didn't want to even think about them or what it was. But I started listening to Steve Isdall. I want to tell you something. He's got. I don't know if y'all ever watched him. How to Hunt, Facts How to Hunt, and all that. But this is what brought it out for me. Just bam. I mean, I was watching him because he'll run down to a river that's about a half a mile behind his home on an ATV, park by the river, and read stories that people have sent in to him. And I was watching him there by that river, and he started telling a couple of stories that these people have sent in, and it just almost knocked me out of my chair, knocked me right back with that river running beside him, and I was so scared for him.
Yeah.
It just all brought it all back, and all fell down. And I was working on putting something together, trying to remember and write all of it down. And it took me a good couple of months to try to piece it all back together. And then I sent it in to him, and he read it. He normally takes him a while to get to some because he gets so many, but he got to mine within about a week and a half, and it infected him pretty bad. He was he had to wipe tears out of his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't. It hit him hard too. So he just wanted me to make sure that it doesn't lead me to take away all of it from me. Get back out to with me watching him. What he does, he's a guide, a hunting guide and a fishing guide. But he makes these videos too of people's experiences.
Yes, sir. We've seen his channel, and there's been times we've cringed at things we see in the background.
Yeah, we've seen some dogmen and Bigfoot in the background and things, and like that DVD, it shows you how to see the translucent, how to look for these certain things, and
Oh yeah. I've been watching a lot of videos online on YouTube, and I've picked up some that they didn't see.
Yeah, good.
On some of those videos.
Good. And when he's on that channel, he's distracted with the noise and with looking at the camera and reading, and it would be good if someone came out there just to watch his back, really. When he did these shows.
Well, that's what that's what on the comments I wrote that to him was, you need somebody to be watching your six because all that noise in that river, anything can come up from behind you.
You're right.
And you won't even know you're there. And if the wind's blowing right, you won't ever smell it. So.
Yeah, we always say when you're talking, they're walking.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
You'll even notice when a car goes by up in the more populated areas, when the car goes by, we can hear the footsteps going at the same time. They take advantage of any noise that's happening, which we can do too when we track. But
when you walk, they walk. When you stop, they're gonna stop.
Yes, sir.
Yep, you're right.
Unless you can fool them and make a half a step, and then and then make another step.
That's exactly right.
You can hear it.
Yeah, that's right. That's perfect.
Okay, we're going to get back to comments. We have Mr. L says, Leo just now here. We're glad you're here, Mr. L.
Mr. L, if you can show up a little earlier,
Mr. L.
that would be great. Or watch this again, but it's always better for you to
You're going to want to listen to this one again.
Yeah, listen to this one again.
Pyro says it is weird that he dreamed of them doing the spider crawl without ever seeing that before.
What do you think about that, Charles?
I want to tell you, that's one thing that made that night terror even worse because I didn't know they did that, and I saw it. When I turned around, he was coming up on me with a spider crawl, and that scared the hell out of me worse. I think standing up, and then he jumped to his feet.
Yeah.
I mean, just popped to his feet and grabbed me by my shoulders. I can't explain it. I don't know why it was there and the spider crawling, but I saw it in my dream, the nightmare that they do it. And that's before I ever knew that they did it.
When you look at the illustration from your description, it really looks a lot like a spider in the face too. And anyone who's seen our DVD or watched the channel knows the spider connections.
But yeah, even in your image, we can see it.
Yeah.
And to see something.
The lady that made these drawings for me, I don't know that I should tell her name, but she is renowned. She's done a lot of sketching for police departments and stuff too. So you give her information, and she knows what she's doing. She goes right to it. She puts herself in that spot, can see what's happening. And it took us a little while. It took a couple of months. But that last one she sent me, the one I showed y'all, and she's still working on some too. There are different ones. I'll probably be standing there in front of it was one of them, and then a couple of other ones. But she hits the nail on the head. I mean, when she said that last one, I almost fell out of my chair. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I thought I was back on the river again.
Yeah, to have we have another tracker that'll be coming on pretty soon. I believe they're a little bit under the weather right now, but what you just described in your dream, they've seen in real life. So it is something that you've seen that in a dream when you've never knew that.
Yeah, I mean, I had not an inkling that these things were enforced. In '74, I knew there was nothing out there like them. And I don't even know that if y'all were born by that time.
Yeah, we were.
No.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
We were.
Anyway.
We'll go back to comments and see if there's more questions. Linda.
Okay.
Linda is here. Pray we must. Hey, Linda.
Linda,
how you doing?
What time is it? Linda.
How you doing, Linda?
Charles Duane, who is Bernice's husband, who is now called Tracker B, wants you to know that he appreciates your time.
Well, I appreciate them for standing here and listening to this old bitty.
No, this is all
It's
knowledge.
an honor to speak to you and to listen to what you have to say.
It's an honor to be here with y'all.
Scott says we need to pray for Charles that he would be able to sleep and be delivered of these nightmares. Absolutely. And we do pray that in Jesus' name.
Charles, you know what we talk about? We talk about not dreaming and the mind protection technique. Are you using some of this, or?
I do, but I want to tell you that damn creature must have hit down deep. Because, like I say, I've been praying hard for 48 years, and I've got it down to about once a month. So I'm working on it, getting rid of all of it.
Well, you have a bunch of strong spiritual warriors praying the same for you and with you now.
Well, that might help. That might be a big help. But I appreciate it. Really, I appreciate it.
And also, as warriors, those are our challenges. Those are our battles.
Yes, I've had that battle for a long time. And I've got Jesus with me too, and I know he's beating back on that big red-eyed son of a gun, but I mean, he just looked into my eyes, I guess too long, at least a minute, and that was 58 seconds too long.
Make sure you pray over yourself when you sleep and Jesus will be right there protecting you, watching over.
He's there. I know he is.
Oh yeah.
Because I pray every night. I pray when I go to bed and when I get up every morning that I'm still alive in bed and put my feet on the floor. you know, and through the day. It doesn't make any difference. When I start thinking about it just a little bit, I pray that it's taken away from me, even during the day.
Yeah, we won't even take a bite without prayer.
You know, and you can also play prayers in the background, just play them low, and those kind of things help too. Prayers, Bible verses.
Oh, hey, there's.
I know when I'm watching Shepherd's Chapel on my TV, at least sometimes 8 hours a day that I watch it, and I watch 10 shows sometimes. I know they ain't nothing going to touch me while I'm watching that. That's a fact.
Do you remember that song that we sent to you? It's all about Bible verses. It's called "Won't Let Go," I think.
I got them. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that song is just verses, and whenever we're out in the field, sometimes we'll play it while the other one's sleeping while we're on guard duty. So we got that music of prayers going on while the other one's sleeping, you know, to keep them all protected while they're.
That just makes an invisible barrier around y'all, which is great.
Scott says he's quoting Proverbs 3:24. If you lie down, you will not be afraid. When you lie down, your sleep will be sweet. And Psalms 4:8. In peace, I will both lie down and sleep. For you alone, O Lord, make me dwell in safety. Those are perfect verses. Thank you, Scott.
Hey, thank you, Scott.
I got chills.
You hear that, Charles?
And oh yeah, I've read the Bible at least 1,000 times since I was 14 years old.
Oh.
And I'm even front to back, and been with Pastor Arnold Murray. I've been with him studying all the way through it too. So.
Wow.
I've got my grandmother who was Choctaw there in Oklahoma. Lillian Patterson was her maiden name. And I've got her old Bible she got when she was about 15 years old. So that's when I read out of when I keep by my bed.
Good.
Pyromedic, thank you for your question. Yes, he answered that earlier. You probably typed this before he did. No, the eyes were not self-illuminated, but they were completely red, and the pupils were dark
yeah,
red.
there was no illumination to them. They were just blood red, dark blood red, and the pupils were an even darker red.
Okay. 10IC says, love that, Scott, talking about those verses and the prayers for you, Charles. I'm hugging you in spirit, Charles. That's from 10IC.
Thanks, sir.
Pray we must, says Charles. I am praying for you as well. I'm telling
you. Look at
you,
that, Charles. Look at that.
Again, these are some amazing prayer
These are prayer warriors, too.
Truly.
Spiritual prayer warriors. We know them.
24/7. Pyromedic says infrasound side effects. Yes. Sir?
That's what it takes.
Sure does.
Pyromedic says, I think he was in a daze sticking around to measure footprints. Oh, brave. I'll tell you what. It was already daylight, though.
Yeah, this was a daylight encounter, right?
Just after the sun come up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's some of their hunting times, right before dark. Around 7, 8 o'clock at night, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 4.
Hey. Let old Pyromedic know that no one's going to do the same thing as somebody else. But whenever I was sitting there looking around and I saw 2 digits about 1.5 inches deep in that pretty hard ground by that river right beside me, I saw it. I had to know how big they were. That just solidified that I saw what I saw, and I needed to know how big they were.
Right. I think he's just meaning how brave that you were. He's giving you respect.
Understood. Yeah. Well, imagine it's a wonder that I had enough sense to me to be able to measure them. Yeah, I
sure is. That's what he's saying.
To get the measuring by tape.
right?
Yeah.
Amy says the pressure is causing the air is a less dense version of water, so when something is present, there is a change.
The pressure is.
Well, I can believe that. I don't know exactly what it was for sure, but it probably has to do something with the electrical energy that their bodies can put off.
Right.
Those balls of light that we see, orbs. I had a guy that I was talking to, and he said he seen one put his hands together like in front of his chest, making a ball, looked like a ball in it, and concentrated, and a yellowish orange ball came out between his hands in front of his chest. So they can do many things, and pressure I know has got to be one of them.
Yeah.
Mr. L says, peace of God for you, friend. Pyromedic says, when Janice Carter's father was passing in the hospital, he was concerned for his family having habituated one for many years. Oh, I imagine so. Yeah, so they had been feeding one, and now what? What happens to the people left behind?
I don't know. Let me ask y'all this: if y'all check it, do y'all know the YouTube site Into the Veil? Have y'all heard of it?
We've heard of it.
I think I've watched it a couple times.
Yeah. Well, the lady, she is like a clairvoyant, intuitive. She can speak to them. They speak to her. She understands them.
We personally would call that mind speak and caution against it.
She doesn't just mind speak with them. She actually talks to them with her mouth. You don't just think it.
Yeah.
She'll be standing there talking to. She knows got their names, and she calls her the Junior or someone that he's kind of a misbehaving teenager.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. For sure, I know that one.
And I'm just afraid those people are going to wind up on the menu.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Sure will.
They think it's all fun and dandy, and they're being nice and feeding and all that. Well, they're just big turkey legs walking around in Sasquatch Bigfoot.
Sure are.
Burritos.
That's why that one woman left after she couldn't feed them no more. She got out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the next person came in.
Didn't let anybody know what was happening in that area, and just got out.
Yeah.
And there are actually landowners that will keep reselling property to people, knowing that those things are on there, and profitable for them because they get the money and the belongings when the people just take off, and then they'll just resell.
Yeah, that's not legal. I mean, they should. If there's something wrong with that property, they ain't gonna let you know. Yeah. The same way with renting a home, those people should let me know that 2 people had died in that house.
Yeah. You're right.
You're right.
I found out later, but that's too late.
Right. Parkway says, I agree with the Crow Raven scenario. 10IC said,
I'll tell you. Go ahead.
Did you want to respond to Parkway?
I will just a little bit. Go ahead.
10IC says this is like group therapy for PTSD survivors. Yeah, so they, everybody knows they're not alone, and they can get it off their chest, get it off their mind.
And we know exactly what you're talking about.
A lot of people don't realize probably that they've got PTSD, and they do. I did, and I went to see a psychologist over here in Kingwood, Texas, and he had me taking medicine, and I felt like a walking zombie. And after about 3 months, I told him he could keep his taking medicine, and I quit taking it. I got tired of feeling like I was a walking zombie. I told him I'd deal with it on my own.
And you
Jesus
are.
And my Father in heaven and my Savior helped me with the rest of it.
Yeah, their answer is to give you drugs and see you next week.
And it masks it. It doesn't take it away. It just covers
That's
it
right.
up, but it's still there boiling under the surface.
You would think a psychologist would sit you down, you'd sit down and he'd talk to you about all this stuff.
Yep.
That's bothering me. He didn't do anything but pump drugs into me. He didn't talk to me about anything. I'll see you next month.
Wow.
So after about 3 months of that, I told him he could keep his drugs and I'd let God and my Savior take it over.
And
Yeah.
if they haven't experienced it, they don't understand it. They don't, they really do think you're having just hallucinations and think they're doing you a favor, with many of them.
But they don't know.
Yeah.
They just don't know.
Yeah.
Mary Stoughton.
They're doing
Yes.
Go ahead.
Mary Stoughton says, just got home, count me in. So she's here and she'll go back and catch up.
And Mary Stoughton, if you would like, we would like to interview you as well and help you with what you're going through right now as well.
Mm-hmm. On
Jerry,
air or off.
Yes?
Jerry Tracker, are y'all going to let the interviewee that I talked to about the other day,
Yeah, we're going to get in contact with them and let them know.
We did.
We actually sent him.
We sent it. We're waiting to hear about it.
Yeah, we sent him your message.
He will likely see this show too.
Yeah.
Thank you much.
Sure.
Thank you much.
Pyromedic says Steve doesn't read them in the woods anymore. They started sneaking up on him. Oh, good. Glad to hear that. Good. Wow. Bernice Tracker B says, wow, it's crazy he went through what my brother went through with the dreams and everything.
Yeah.
Happens a lot, Bernice.
Yeah, and you're not the only one that this has happened to, or the last one.
Well, I'm sure I won't be.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for all of mine to totally get out of my head, and I'm praying every day. Isn't that? Good morning.
Good. It will. It's already almost gone.
Right. JR says, good evening. Got here late, so I look forward to the replay. So to hear Charles' experiences, blessings. Glad you're here, and thank you for your comment.
So am I. Bless you, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Wilson says, I've seen Steve sitting there reading and little rocks and pebbles whizzing by him. Yep. Tennessee on their page has a good video of a rock, and they'll bring that video when they're a guest on here, which will be soon again.
Well, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, we just got the whole stream up, so now we can put video and photos, and audio. So it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm subscribed to Tennessee.
Good.
Page 2.
Good.
Keeping up with his stuff.
Good.
So.
Jeremy Wilson says he's got them in the background on video talking about Steve Isdall. And yes, we agree. Hey, April's here.
All right.
How you doing, April? Jack McKenna says, I think your group should prepare for a huge amount of focus. You are the experts, and these things are everywhere. Be ready for 22,000 views. Oh, well, we appreciate that. Thank you.
And we do know they're everywhere, and
we agree with you.
I want to tell you something, Jerry Tracker. What I keep thinking about, and it's in my dreams too sometimes, is them coming into the cities by the big groups, and it's going to be hard for humans to turn them back if they don't know what they're doing.
It is.
Yep, they won't even know what to look for, the smells, the sounds.
Right. And I want to tell you what, that's almost getting close to like an Armageddon type thing, because I don't know how many are in the United States. I would make a guess it's probably at least 400,000 to 500,000.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate guess, I would say.
Yeah. It's all part of the end game.
I've been researching it a lot, and I think that's pretty close. You look at how many deer are in the United States, like 30 million? At least.
Our deer populations have all been wiped out just about everywhere.
Yeah, there's not as many as there used to be, and that's the main course. There's 5A, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, a lot of people don't keep up with like checking deer tags and how many was checked in that year. You know, go back 5 years and see what happened.
That's right. And a lot of places where it was the best deer hunting is where a lot of hunters have come up missing.
Yes. Mary Stoughton says, good interview. I will go back and listen to what I missed. Good, Mary.
Yes, everyone, if you've showed up late, please go back and start at the beginning. You've missed a lot of information and spiritual talk.
Bernice says, I had seen a dark black thing crawling on my floor. I truly believe it was a spider crawler. I thought I was going crazy until I drew a picture and showed you. Now I know what it was. I remember that, Bernice.
Yeah. We remember that.
Dwayne says it did really happen. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's good when your husband and family, your wife, husband, you know, got your back.
It sure is.
That's strong family there.
Jeremy Wilson says,
let me know this. If you don't do come down and we'll spend a little time and I get out the force with you, know this, you can count on me. You can depend on me to watch your back.
Oh, we know.
We wouldn't have ever suggested it if we didn't already know that.
So, at this point, I don't have a problem putting one of them down. And if I have to put him down, I might have to put down 2 or 3 more around because they're never by themselves.
Yeah.
You're right.
And we're prepared too.
They got to be. When I was Boy Scout, they taught us to be prepared.
In response to another question earlier, Dwayne said they use strings. Yes, they absolutely do.
Oh boy.
Pyromedic says he didn't want to say that they were. He went looking for them once and mentioned people were telling him that and stopped reading in the woods. Good. Pray We Must says, hi, Charles, my neighbor. Yes, thank you for sharing.
Yes, Linda's close. She lives close to you also. I said, Linda, she's spiritual and she lives kind of close to you too. And all of y'all are wanting to get together. So hopefully we can make it a time like that.
And that's a divine interaction there because look, y'all are very, very close together and that you would run into each other on this channel. That's
and y'all are
exciting.
very, very spiritual.
Always was. Hey, I'll tell you something too we don't want to do when we're out in the woods. And that's go to whistling.
No.
Not me. We just turn around, walk out of the park, I'd say.
We've gotten on to people for that before. Like,
what
are you doing? What the ham?
I thought you said you had my back and you're whistling.
Yeah. You're whistling.
Yeah.
And my sticks. It might as well tree knock. Come on. But we're heading out.
Jack McKenna says, and so very kind when you said we fear what we don't know. Thank you. You two helped me enormously. It's Jody. Hey, Jody.
Hey, Jody. She's always on
Whose machine are you using tonight, Jody? We're always glad to see you. You are a determined person.
She should be our secret agent.
That's right. We're glad you're here. Pray We Must says amen. Jeremy Wilson says, thank you, Charles.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Ghost Star Dancer says, thanks. That's a good reason to quit reading in the woods. We agree. Glad you're here, Ghost. Parkway says, are the spider crawls loud and noisy? Asking from an experience.
No. It's quieter than quiet. And the look, you would think something that has no neck when they're down that low, couldn't look up, but they do.
Ugh.
And when you see something that's got big red eyes as big as Coke cans looking at you from that position, all I could think of was giant spiders. Black a tarantula.
Yep. Ken IC had the neighbor that just saw one spider crawl away, and then also there was another one too recently.
And I actually seen one at a neighbor's a couple
Bigfoot
months back.
Hoodie. Yeah.
And there was a Bigfoot in the hoodie there too. But it was sitting there, and when I finally seen it, it just took off. All fours.
That was at the same location where the Bigfoot in the hoodie was.
And listen, I don't know if it's true, but because it was in my night there, but when he was in this spider crawl position, he wasn't moving his arms and his hands. He was using toes and fingers.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And that was the weirdest look I've ever seen on anything.
Oh yeah.
We've heard that.
Go
ahead.
And also with the spider crawl, that's four, really it's 4 legs, but they have weight distribution at that time. So that's just like a panther sneaking up. That's just like a cat sneaking up.
Parkway, to your question about loud and noisy, we haven't heard of any that were loud and noisy. Every one that we've heard so far has been quiet.
And they're only loud and noisy if they know that you don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And when I was by the river, the wind was blowing my face. I couldn't smell it. You would think something that's 1,200-1,300 pounds when it walks up on you and would leave digits in the ground of an inch and a half, you'd feel it or hear it. Well, I never felt the ground shake. I never heard anything. I just turned around and he was there.
Bernice says, "Thank you for sharing your stories, Charles. My brother is going through the same thing with the dreams and
not bad.
I'm gonna definitely pray for him.
Good, and that's powerful right there, Charles.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Pyromedic says
he's spiritual.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's a spiritual person or not, but he needs Jesus to have a hold of him.
Yeah, he's spiritual.
Good.
Pyromedic says he stopped sharing in that spot. He still shares in other areas. Go back
that river.
Talking about, yeah.
We all know that river. We've all seen it. We all seen things behind him, and but even commenting,
Y'all, either one of y'all ever been down to the Big Bend State Park on that Mountain Fork River?
Where's that at? What state?
In Oklahoma. It's down the river from Broken Bow Lake.
Probably.
That's where we went.
Southeastern Oklahoma.
Around that dam.
Oh yeah.
Y'all know Anovia?
Yeah. We're actually
there today.
We're actually about 10 miles or 20 miles from there.
Right now.
Was y'all in the Quachita or the Kamichi?
The Ouachita?
Yeah, we're at the border of both of them.
Okay, well, Mountain Fork River runs out of the dam on Broken Bow Lake.
We were there not that long ago in that area.
It's beautiful. It's changed a lot. Whenever I was there in 74, all the tent sites were on the south end of the park. And they've moved everything around now. I think the RVs and stuff like that are on the south end now. And they've moved the tent area up closer to the lodge up there, the office. And it may be for that reason. I never thought about that.
It is. They just don't tell the campers that.
Yeah. That may be the reason why they moved the tent site down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Bigfoot is known around these areas, so when people come in, there's signs, and people should already know though, but they won't
yeah,
believe
they
it until
should.
they see it.
Mhm.
And if you got food, put it up high, lock it, get it out of the way. But if you put it up high, they're going to get to it. It
Yep.
don't make any difference. They can jump 30, 35 feet in the air.
Yep.
So,
They'll still get up there. They climb just like bears, squirrels.
oh, yeah. Yep.
Young Grasshopper Apprentice says, "Thank you, Scott. I took a screenshot so I can revisit those verses before laying down to sleep." Yes, thank you, Scott. Look at there, Scott.
And-
Someone else you're helping.
And great hearing from you, young Grasshopper
Sure
Apprentice.
is.
It's been a while. It's good to see you back.
April says, "Praying for you, Charles."
April Aiken says, praying for you, Charles.
And that she has seen the red-eyed ones. They are the most violent from her experience. Yeah, in the DVD, we talk about that the red and the orange eyes are the most aggressive.
And April also is a knower, just like you.
Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your prayers. Jerry, I'm going to get off here and listen to y'all, okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Hey, and we want to thank you again for having our back out there and checking on us and, keeping up with us.
Always.
We'll talk to you soon and hopefully see you soon also.
Hopefully see you soon.
It'd be nice. It's a long ways down here, though.
Don't worry about us. Just let your wife know 2 extra plates.
Save us some ribs.
That'd be fine. I got plenty of plates. I got plenty of food.
All right. You're very welcoming.
Yes.
And I want to tell you something. The other day I woke up, I had 3 doe in my side yard. So, hey, I'm in a little subdivision on Lucy Bayou, off Lake Houston. But, hey, I had 3 does in my side yard the other day. So, we got the wildlife out here.
Oh, good. That's a good sign, too.
Uh-huh. Anyway, good night. And I'm going to listen.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna finish up the comments and then we'll do a little closing, and then we'll explain that in just a little bit.
We'll talk to you later, and good night to the missus also.
When's the next one? Friday?
It's tomorrow night. We got Tracker B coming on, and she may have a guest with her, and then 2 nights after that, we're gonna try to get not seeing them back so we can get their audio and everything up, but we do have some audio and things from Tracker B as well.
Sounds good. Same time, same place?
Same time, same place.
Groovy.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Pyromedic says, "I found a track 2 weeks ago, 3 toes, nothing compared to seeing them in person. I hope to never find out." Ken I See has also seen the 3 toes. We've seen the 3 toes. We believe you.
Yeah, and also Tennessee can actually tell you this too, that whenever you see a 3-toe, it's not an ordinary kind of look. Sometimes you got like, wait a minute, that's 3 toes. It's just the configuration doesn't look like it's could be right, but they've seen them, you've seen them, we've seen them. A lot of people have, especially our trackers. I even think Tracker A may have a couple of pictures or something like that, because they were laying track traps and got a few tracks like that too. So, but yes, they do have them 3-toe, 4-toe, 5-toe, 6-toe. So, we know what you're talking about, and we believe everything you say anyway, Pyromedic.
Mr. L says, "Into the Veil show, promoting, talking, and gifting to them," and gives it a thumbs down. Yes, sir. That's
we
right.
Do not promote making a connection with a predator that is craving to eat you. They are predators. Think about it.
Pyromedic says, "They have done snuck all the way up on her," is the way I see it.
Oh yeah. Anytime they want her, they got her.
Claudia in the house says,
Claudia.
"Howdy." Howdy, Claudia. Glad you're here. Howdy.
D.
Was it like Minnie Pearl? Is that who said that?
It's good to see you, Claudia. We had to run some quick errands today. We was going to get that out to you today. We got some here with us. We brought back. We'll take care of that along with Scott's and Joe Blow. Don't forget, we need your email, and my email is in the description. Send us your information. We will get your DVD out also.
Go Star Answer says they carry an awfully lot of food out to them weekly. Is this in Arkansas?
I don't know.
I don't remember which state. One of the other viewers can answer that. I don't remember.
But if they're carrying a lot of food out there, there's a lot of them, or there's a big one.
Scott says, I won't be here tomorrow, but we'll see you whenever the next video is. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Scott.
That'll be Saturday in the afternoon, 5:05 p.m. Scott.
Mm-hmm.
But watch the one tomorrow also when you get some free time. Oh.
Is that it? Yeah, next. Pray we must says Texas strong in the Lord.
There you go. There you go. Texas is strong in the Lord. And Pray We Must is a very spiritual, strong warrior. We're very proud to know her.
Mm-hmm. Bernice says, yes, they're really quiet and no neck and creepy, weird looking thing. Yes.
More confirmation for Charles and everyone.
Pyromedic says, thank you, Huckleberry. Says, change eyes,
Orange.
Orange eyes. Orange eyes, don't share too long.
Stare.
Oh, I
know
it's I think I'm having a hot flash in my glasses are fogging up too. I'm sweating.
We just ran in here.
You take a couple.
Pray We Must says, orange eyes, don't stare too long. Remember my trees. Yes. If everyone who has been here for a little while does know Linda, Pray We Must, she sent in a lot of pictures of eyes, shadows, outlines. Bigfoot's a Bigfoot face, one of the very best ones of a small Bigfoot face is one of hers. But yes, she has experience as well.
Young Grasshopper Apprentice says, thank you both. Love you guys. We love you too, and we're so glad you're here.
Yeah, we're so glad to see you again.
Keep coming back. We'll see you.
Yeah.
Ghost Start Answer says, Pyromedic, where did you find the 3 toes print?
That would be here in Oklahoma. I'm not sure exactly where, but hopefully he can answer that before we close down. But Pyromedic, they're asking you where, if you can say, where that you notice these 3-toe prints.
Charles says, thanks, Pyromedic.
All right. I like that too.
10IC says, thank you, Charles. Love you and God bless to everyone.
All right. All right.
Pyromedic says, Northeast Oklahoma between Cherokee Public Hunting Area and Camp Gruber Army Base while deer hunting. I will send the video for Jerry to show sometime.
Hey, thank you, Pyromedic. And you got some stories too, and you're off in those areas. We've talked before, and people should know things going on too. And if you're ever available to share with the viewers and our trackers, give them that information, we really would appreciate it.
Charles says, thanks, Tennessee, and prayers right back at you.
All right.
Love
seeing that the prayers getting back and forth to each other.
Charles says, April, I'm sending prayers your way too.
Yes, you both have seen the same things, and as all of our trackers have, when we share this information with everybody, so you're aware, so that you won't go. Also,
some people sending us messages.
April.
And love to all my friends. April, we will look for that message. Thank you.
Thank you, April.
And April is thanking you, Charles. I think that about wraps it up. And we will. Are you ready to close with a prayer?
Yeah, we're going to close with a prayer, and then we'll be done.
And be back.
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow
night.
night, 5:05 with Tracker B and a guest. Hopefully that guest will be here. There's a lot of information that you need to know about this area as well. And they are our trackers. They know what to look for. They're going to tell you how they changed a lot of things in their area to where the city actually got involved to help change things. And Ghost Star Dancer says thanks, Charles, and yes, thank you again, Charles. We appreciate all that information, all that knowledge, all your spiritual knowledge that you share with everybody, reinforcing their faith, their truth. And please keep it up, sharing this information to more people.
And we would also like to thank the chat is very, very well done tonight. We thank y'all for the respectful questions, the intelligent questions. We thank you for the support for our guest and for each other and for the prayers for each other. We really appreciate that. A couple more comments came in.
Charles says, or Ghost Start Answer says, Charles, are you in the Houston area or Houston, Texas area?
North of Houston, Texas, yeah.
Okay.
Pyromedic says 3 hours and still have everyone here that started. Hope this helps you, Charles.
Yes, Charles.
That's a great point.
Everybody's still here listening, Charles, and thank you for everything you shared.
Jeremy Wilson says right on.
All right, Jeremy.
And so let's close with a prayer. We're going to pray that that any connections or ties be broken between these unclean spirits, these abominations, and Charles and anyone else that is suffering, Bernice's brother, that there be no more nightmares. We thank you, Lord. We bind and tie, we break any connection, and we do that in Jesus' name. And Lord, we just thank you for this opportunity tonight. We thank you for protection of the broadcast tonight, and we love you, and we'll talk to you again in just a little while. In Jesus' name.
And we will see everyone again tomorrow.
And Bernice is already sending in some pictures. And
we're going to have some more up with Tennessee as well. We want to thank Charles again, a true spiritual warrior, very strong. He's already met Jesus. And these are the people that will help guide others. Even though sometimes we do get into those situations that we don't understand or things that we've come across that just doesn't quite make sense, you can always get through it. Keep your faith, keep your spirituality, trust in it, use it. It's there for you. So everyone have a great night. We appreciate the, like Chucky was saying, the comments being civil, respectful, especially to our guests, and listening in to get all this knowledge. It is knowledge, every bit of it. So thank you, and have a great night.
good night, y'all. God bless.
Another weapon